Real Halo fans have hated the new Paramount Plus series so far. Nothing about this show has felt like Halo. The acting is mediocre. The writers have admitted to not having anyone play or read the plots of the games, and it feels like a CW show. Now, the media has tried to defend this series by saying, yeah, some diehard Halo fans don't like it, but casual viewers are loving it, even though it's sitting at a 59% on Rotten Tomatoes, and hilariously, they decided to post the whole first episode for free on YouTube. I have a few things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month or supporting the channel via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. So before we look at the episode that's been posted to YouTube and we go through the user reviews, I wanted to show off this article. It says, another TV show ruined by identity politics and bad writing. I really wanted this show to be good. I was rooting for it. I was hoping they'd throw a big budget at it, good writers, they'd pick good actors, and unfortunately, just nothing came together with this series. It feels very mediocre. It says the first episode of Paramount's television adaptation of Halo has just touched down, and the problems are more prolific than anyone could have possibly imagined. For casual sci-fi fans, this might cut it barely, but for longtime fans of the video game franchise, it's an abomination featuring all of the usual suspects that modern ruin adaptations, and this right here is a giant problem. The reason why they got to create this show is because Halo did so good in video game form. That's the only reason why. And instead of trying to follow those video games and retell the stories that people actually loved and show off the characters that people loved, they said, yeah, we took the general ideas for Halo, but we made it new and fresh and modern, which was just terrible. Early teaser content essentially confirmed that the Halo TV series would be loaded with the typical brand of far-left identity politics, and here they are all over again to stir up trouble and alienate fans. It's bizarre to watch the mismatched and altogether politically driven casting decisions, many of which are a literal spit in the face for longtime fans. Now, again, at the beginning, I tried to be hopeful for this series. I was hoping that they were going to throw a bunch of money at it, pick the best of the best they could for actors and writers and producers, and unfortunately, I don't think that this series is going to get any better because you can see just how mismatched it is, how little they actually did for research. It's like they took, again, the names of characters, the general setting, they decided to set it before the games, and they're changing backstories, and they're changing around the lore, and they're just basically saying, yeah, we're doing whatever we feel like, and that's not why fans of Halo would have watched this series. We basically wanted to see the games put into a live action format. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. Everything has to be the same way it was in the game, but it had to be extremely close, and they are nowhere close. This was a big problem for me when we found out that they were race swapping the Keyes families. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. They basically just did it to say, oh, hey, there's more diversity and inclusivity in this series. Look at us. We can do diversity and inclusivity too. It says the goal, of course, was to sell an interracial relationship between Jacob Keyes and Catherine Halsey, the architect of the Spartan 2 program. Yes, they did conceive Miranda together in the video game timeline, but the TV show required the obligatory interracial relationship checkbox to be ticked, so here we are. Sorry to all you Halo fans out there, but Paramount doesn't care what you think. The same racists who feel it necessary to race swap exclusively in one direction are the same hypocrites who will accuse you of racism if you take notice. It is true. If you go on social media and you say, hey, why did you race swap these characters? Of course, there are going to be people who call you ists because you are just pointing it out. But if we go on over to YouTube, yes, they decided to post the whole first episode to the official Paramount Plus YouTube channel. Do you see Disney posting full episodes of their Marvel or Star Wars shows on YouTube? What about Star Trek? Of course not, because you need people to pay for a subscription to make money, and by putting it on YouTube for free, it screams they're desperate to bring viewers in. Maybe they think if people can watch the first episode for free, it'll draw them onto Paramount Plus and they can get a subscription fee out of them, but I highly doubt it. This show just isn't good, which is the problem. They put in the least amount of effort they could, thinking they'd make bank off of Halo fans and nostalgia, and they didn't. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, and right now it's sitting at 360,000 views with only 12,000 likes and 4,000 dislikes. And if you go to the comments, a lot of people are roasting them right now, saying, I cannot believe you posted this whole first episode. You guys must be extremely desperate. People are saying things like, you can tell whoever wrote and directed this just watched Halo trailers and tried to figure out the rest as they went along. Again, they admitted that they didn't play the games. They didn't read the stories of the games. They just took the characters and the setting and said, we can make a Halo show, sure. If this show was actually faithful to the franchise, then I would watch it. Me too. I'm trying to watch it just so that I can review it and talk about it with all of you, but it is just so bad, and as a lifelong Halo fan, I'm so disappointed to see that this is the best they could come up with. I look forward to one day getting an actual Halo series. I love Halo. Feels bad giving it a dislike, just not that great of a show. It's so unfortunate that this has happened, that this is the best content they could come up with. And if we go on over to Rotten Tomatoes, it's sitting at a 70% critic score, but a 59% audience score. Audiences do not like this series. They're saying it's bad, it's mediocre, you guys could have done a lot better. You gave us bottom of the barrel content. All the newest reviews. Look at this, 1 star, 1.5 stars. This show is as offensive as Will slapping Chris. This needs to be canceled. 1.5 stars. First episode started off great, but this show quickly spiraled into a mess of dog water writing and forced drama with countless poor decisions. I'm glad that there are people here that do enjoy it and that are saying, yeah, it's not that bad. I'm guessing that they are not Halo fans, that they heard that, you know, hey, Paramount Plus is doing this TV series on this really popular game franchise, and maybe they like a lot of woke Hollywood's content and they're enjoying it. And if you're enjoying it, good for you. Don't get me wrong, I wanted to love it. I just can't find any way to love it. When you start ignoring game canon, you're going to have to do it in a clever way, or at least make it worthwhile somehow to avoid major backlash from the core fans, and this isn't worthwhile or clever, just more paint-by-numbers schlock, hard pass for me. I do hope that maybe, for some reason, in some world, as the show progresses, it gets better. Maybe they will fix the mistakes that are very, very prevalent at the beginning of the series, but I highly doubt they can fix that much in just a few episodes. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.